Right, here we are. Hello and welcome to Deep Point Live again. I thought rather than making videos or whatever, let's just have a discussion on the upcoming test series. Obviously the T20 is gone. I thought India were very good. Leave aside, obviously, it was quite obvious that India is going to be more competitive than what it has been. लेकिन जो अच्छी बात ये लगी कि the approach जो था वो अलग था. शुरू से ही रोहित, केएल राहुल were more aggressive. Venkatesh ने last match में ball भी डाला, so I thought quite a few positives out of it, and I completely agree जो राहुल द्रविड़ ने कहा कि we've got to put it in the right perspective कि काफी players उनके थे नहीं, important players नहीं थे, लेकिन still was a very important series straight after the World Cup, whatever happened with India. Anyways, okay, so let's just start taking questions, not waste any more time. And so if we can have those questions right up. Yeah, because by the way, in Kanpur it's quite cold. It's quite cold. The sun sets pretty early. आज तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही हो गया था. आज तो 5 सवा 5 बजे नीचे. So anyways, so I'll take a few. So what is your playing 11 for first test? अभी का पहले ही question is okay. So obviously KL is not available now. Obviously Rohit has been rested. So Mayank Agarwal, Shubman Gill, even though मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि Shubman Gill is better suited in the middle order, लेकिन और ऑप्शन है नहीं इस वक्त. So I think it's going to be Shubman Gill, Mayank Agarwal, Cheteshwar, अजिंक्य, श्रेयस अय्यर, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी बोल चुके हैं श्रेयस अय्यर will make his debut, जडेजा, रिद्धिमान साहा, अश्विन, अक्सर, मोहम्मद सिराज, अगर उनकी उंगली ठीक हो गई है, अभी तक पता नहीं है, मोहम्मद सिराज, उमेश यादव और ईशांत, इन तीनों में से कोई दो. So this would be my playing 11. In fact, I was just writing that down only. That would be my playing 11, Avi. Okay, crick super over. What about Hanuma Vihari? I completely agree. What about Hanuma Vihari? First team जब निकला था, तो obviously he was not here. That was a bit of a surprise. Second में पहले इंडिया ए निकला था, तो इंडिया ए में नहीं था. I thought obviously he'll be part of the India side. Then India side में भी नहीं था. That was a bit of a surprise. And now he's gone to South Africa to play India. So मुझे काफी surprise था कि he was not picked, especially जब विराट नहीं खेल रहे पहले टेस्ट मैच में. It only makes sense कि आप हनुमा जैसे बल्लेबाज को आप मौका तो दो इंडिया में खेलने का, because unfortunately he only gets to play away from home. But anyways, yeah. So I agree. Crick super over. What about Hanuma Vihari? Anyways, next question. Adi Kulshrestha कह रहे हैं, आदि क्या कह रहे हैं, sir, who will be including the first is Shreyas Iyer or I think Shreyas का already बोल दिया, he will be making his debut at number 5 or 4 wherever. थोड़ा सा वो भी, Surya was there in England, और अब Shreyas is not only there playing, but Shreyas has got a very very good first class record. 4,500 से ज्यादा रन है, 50 के ऊपर एवरेज है. So he's earned his stripe. ये कहना गलत होगा कि he has not. 4-5 साल डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट खेला है and he's done really well. मेरे ख्याल से 1200 है और कुछ 24 या 25 हाफ सेंचुरीज हैं. So I think Shreyas will play before Surya Kumar Yadav. Right. What else? Who else is there? Pranav कह रहे हैं कि will they go with 3 spinners or 2? I think they can go with 3 spinners. India अगर 3 spinner इसलिए भी खिला सकती है. अश्विन बैट्स, जडेजा obviously बैट्स, अक्सर बैट्स. So आपके जो 3 स्पिनर हैं, तीनों बैटिंग कर सकते हैं. तो it's not like कि अगर आप 3 स्पिनर खिलाते हैं तो आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज करेंगे बैटिंग के साथ. तो आप बिना बैटिंग के साथ कॉम्प्रोमाइज किए भी आप 3 स्पिनर खिला सकते हैं. So I think 3 spinners. Right. Who do we have? Umpire's call. Ritz, how are you doing, Ritz? Umpire's call, a friend of mine. Given the traditional Green Park track, and then may help the spinners later on. A good toss to win and decide what to do, or a good toss to lose. I think India may it's always a good toss to win because you don't want to bat the fourth innings. Generally जो Green Park का pitch रहता है, it will turn, but slow turn है. It's not like Mumbai जहाँ पे turn करेगा भी तो bounce और pace के साथ. So even though there is turn, there'll be slow turn, which kind of helps the batter कि थोड़ा सा adjust कर लें, because it gives that extra split second for the batter to adjust. So I'd say yeah, win the toss, bat first. But having said that, generally क्या होता है, normal Indian pitches पे day 2 and day 3 are the best times to bat. So it is not always a bad idea. I know going against the usual norm कि भैया इंडिया और सब कॉन्टिनेंट में टॉस जीतो पहले बैट करो, बट अगर आप देखेंगे यूजुअल होता है ऐसा नहीं, जो पहले दिन से टर्न करने लगते हैं वो अलग है. अगर पहले दिन से जो टर्न नहीं करते वो जनरली सेकेंड डे थर्ड डे जो होता है, दैट इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू बैट. So in that case, obviously it does not matter, but I still think you win the toss and you bat first. Ritz, I hope I've answered your question. Okay, who do we have? Sitesh Kumar Panda. Will this be cakewalk for India? Are we going to see New Zealand team fight back? It's not going to be cakewalk, क्योंकि एक चीज तो आप तय कर लीजिए और मन बना लीजिए कि जनरली न्यूजीलैंड, द रीजन व्हाई दे आर सो कंसिस्टेंट इज उनका प्रेपरेशन और होमवर्क बहुत अच्छा रहता है. तो एक चीज तो है कि दिस टीम विल बी वेल प्रिपेयर्ड, और इनमें से काफी लोग हैं जो वर्ल्ड कप में नहीं थे. दे ऑल कम फ्रॉम होम प्रिपेयर करके. People like Will Young, Kane Williamson is obviously has not played a lot of cricket of late. Ross Taylor, Henry Nichols, Tom Blundell, Wagner, Somerville, Ajaz Patel. So the whole team, अगर आप देखें तो Tom Latham. तो कीन विलियमसन, सैंटनर स्लैश जेमिसन और टिम साउदी जो मेरा प्लेइंग 11 है न्यूजीलैंड के हिसाब से, only 3-4 of these guys have been playing T20. तो बाकी लोगों के पास वक्त था, मौका था to prepare. And generally, as I mentioned, New Zealand, they are generally a well prepared side. और एक चीज जो इम्पोर्टेंट है, दे हैव गुड स्पिनर्स. सैंटनर तो हम सब जानते हैं, लेकिन विल समरविल, एजाज पटेल, ये दो ऐसे लोग हैं. अगर लास्ट न्यूजीलैंड का टूर देखे सब कॉन्टिनेंट में, जो पाकिस्तान इन यूएई और श्रीलंका, दे बोल्ड रियली वेल. ये दोनों, एक लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर है एजाज और ऑफ स्पिनर है समरविल, दे बोल्ड वेल. सो दे हैव द स्पिनिंग ऑप्शंस. साथ में अगर बैटिंग यूनिट देखें, टॉम लेथम अच्छा स्पिन खेलते हैं, केन विलियमसन ऑब्वियसली खेलते हैं, रॉस टेलर स्पिन ठीक खेलते हैं, हेनरी निकल्स, टॉम ब्लंडल, ये सारे स्पिन अच्छा खेलते हैं. So I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for sure. This is what I think, Sitesh. Right. Prashant ji kya hai? Sir, there is a chance of Prasad Krishna in the first test. I doubt actually. I honestly doubt. जब आपके पास already ईशांत, उमेश और सिराज हैं, तीनों शायद नहीं ना खेलें, दो ही खेलें. Then becomes a little bit of an issue. I mean, it becomes difficult. Let's put it this way. To play Prasid before इन तीनों के. Obviously सिराज का भी वो stitches लगे हुए हैं. I'm not too sure किस stage में है, but अगर नहीं भी होता है, I think India will go with दो seamer, and Ishant and Umesh in that case will be my choice, दो seamer के. Okay, who else? Next question. Yeah, I'll try and take as many questions as possible. Samarth Joshi sir, what do you think about New Zealand's team? What will be their 11? What will be their 11? Okay, so according to me, okay, I told you, I just mentioned what I think of the New Zealand side. मेरे हिसाब से Tom Latham, Will Young, Kane Williamson, Ross Taylor, Henry Nichols, Tom Blundell, Mitch Santner या Jamieson, depending on the pitch, Tim Southee, Neil Wagner, Will Somerville, and Ejaz Patel is what I think will be their playing 11, roughly speaking, Samarth. Okay. Next, who do we have? Austin, how are you doing, Austin? Can Virat Kohli get to 100 tons if he peaks like 2016, especially? Yeah. Lack of red ball cricket for Rahul, Rohit, Pant, Bumrah, Shami impacts South Africa series. How is my article, sir? Austin, the article was good. I did go through it. For me, I personally don't think it will be an issue before South Africa. I think at this point in time, जो सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ है कि mental freshness. ऋषभ पिछले साल अगस्त से, मतलब 2020 अगस्त से बबल में है. बीच में शायद हफ्ते भर के लिए या 4 दिन के लिए घर गए होंगे. तो मोर देन टेक्निकल वगैरह, आई थिंक इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू गेट दीज प्लेयर्स मेंटली फ्रेश फॉर साउथ अफ्रीका सीरीज, क्योंकि ये सीरीज खत्म होते ही 10 दिन के अंदर पहला टेस्ट मैच इज ऑन द 17th. सो 7 को खत्म है, 17 को शुरू है. सो दैट becomes a little bit of a challenge. So वहाँ पे मेरे हिसाब से आई थिंक द बिगेस्ट थिंग would be to keep people mentally fresh. और एंड राहुल, केएल राहुल का तो थोड़ा सा मेरे ख्याल से इंजरी इश्यूज है, निगल है हैमस्ट्रिंग में. That's the reason he did not play the last game also. So I think that should be, I think this break was required and it was important. Virat, yes. It's just that मुझे लग रहा है कि पिछले 8-9 महीने या 1 साल से जो भी चल रहा है with rumors and everything else, maybe that's affecting him or whatever. Once he sorts all that out, there is no reason why he can't get to hundreds. Hi, sir. Will New Zealand have more advantage absence of Virat? Bumrah, Siddharth, I don't think so. I think उनके जगह पे जो खेल रहे हैं, they're good enough. Obviously, you will miss. I mean, you're talking about Virat, Rohit, Rahul, Shami, Bumrah. They are like obviously main players in the team. लेकिन उनके ना रहने से, I think one, it's an opportunity, and the second, players who will replace them, I think they're good enough. I think अगर bowling में देखें तो शामिल नहीं खेल रहे, बट यह विशांत एंड उमेश. उमेश का पिछले 1.5 साल में he's got actually the best record, especially India में he's got best record at home. I think he's averaging 17 or something and all that. So it's and batting में भी obviously Virat, Rohit, Rahul नहीं रहेंगे, लेकिन Mayank gets an opportunity. I mean, I thought Mayank was very unfortunate कि whatever happened England में he was injured and all that for the first test, and Mayank को मिलेगा मौका. Shubman will get an opportunity. Shreyas, who's got a wonderful first-class record, he'll get an opportunity. So while you will miss them, but I think the guys who will be replacing them are good enough. Right. SZ. Okay. So my question is that, is it a last chance for Rahane? Who's next after Rahane? I think there are enough players. जैसे मैंने पहले कहा कि मुझे लगता है कि शुभमन गिल is better suited in middle order. श्रेयस है, सूर्य हैं, सो ऑब्वियसली हनुमा विहारी है यार, उनके पहले हनुमा है. सो मेरे ख्याल से देखिए, देर आर एनफ पीपल. ऑब्वियसली अजिंक्य का लास्ट 2 साल उतना खास रहा नहीं, 2-3 साल, बट लास्ट चांस नहीं कहूँगा. मेरे ख्याल से इट विल बी अनफेयर कि सिर्फ ये सीरीज खिला के एंड इफ ही हैज एन एवरेज सीरीज. मेरा ये मानना है कि साउथ अफ्रीका सीरीज भी, एंड इट विल बी अनफेयर ऑन एनीवन एल्स आल्सो. सो मेरे ख्याल से ये सीरीज इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, 100% वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. साथ में साउथ अफ्रीका सीरीज में भी मेरे ख्याल से उनका रहना चाहिए, एंड देन आई थिंक अ कॉल नीड्स टू बी टेकन इन ड्यूरिंग दैट साउथ अफ्रीका सीरीज. राइट. Who else? Chaitali Shah, sorry. Now my Bong accent took over. Chaitali. Which team is more likely to win, India or New Zealand? Chaitali, I'd say India are firm favorites. But New Zealand, again, like I answered one of the questions before, I don't think New Zealand will be pushover. They are well prepared. Obviously, they don't have, apart from Kane, superstar, but they are very, very effective players, batting or bowling. So it will not be a cakewalk, as the term used before. Yeah, but obviously India firm favorites. Right. So we have Roshan Patil. Sir, what should be done to keep Dio out of the game in ODI and T20s? What's your suggestion? Well, I've been thinking about a couple of things. Obviously, you can't do much with the ball क्योंकि ball leather है, तो और lacquer भी ज़रूरी है. Lacquer नहीं देंगे तो swing नहीं होगा, lacquer देंगे तो साबुन हो जाएगा पानी के साथ. Couple of things मेरे दिमाग में है, और रोशन, I'll make a video. I was actually planning to make a video यार. कानपुर में आके I was थोड़ा सा सर्दी वर्दी में थोड़ा became lazy. Couple of options that look into the toss little more closely, कि जो टॉस हारता है can we give them an advantage somehow to balance out, bowling second. uh, और एक है very interesting and that might be very expensive as well. जैसे काफी स्पोर्ट पे क्या होता है कि they have under the ground heaters, फुटबॉल में होता है, तो स्नो वगैरह जहाँ पे गिरते हैं वहाँ पे होता है कि हीटर्स होता है, वो स्नो को पिघला के निकाल देती है. बट दोज आर वेरी एक्सपेंसिव ऑप्शंस, बट एज एन ऑप्शन फॉर श्योर कि हीटर्स अगर हो तो फिर आपका जो पानी है उसको आप सूख सूख के निकाल लेते हैं. बट आई डोंट नो, आई हैव टू स्टडी अ लिटिल मोर कि उसके दूसरे इफेक्ट्स क्या हो सकते हैं. So yeah, I mean, obviously we'll have to figure out. I mean, the authorities should be looking at it. I'm sure all of us, we kind of sick and tired of talking about toss and chasing down things like that. I'm sure something needs to happen sooner the better. Roshan, right? Sahil कह रहे हैं, sir, do you think that KS Bharat can get a chance in playing well because of his good form? KS Bharat is in good form, yes, but in IPL, someone like KS, which is obviously the same for everyone, क्योंकि domestic cricket तो हुआ नहीं है पिछले 2 साल से, as in red ball cricket. But yeah, but I think when you have Riddhi and Riddhi who's fit, I'd still go with Riddhiman, to be honest. I mean, he's a good option, KS Bharat, no two ways about it. Definitely a good option, but I'd still go with Riddhi, Sahil. Right. Okay. Who else? Hmm. Siddharth again asks, sir, your thoughts on AB's retirement and his career? I think a game changer. जिस तरीके से वो he played international or whatever. I mean, whatever cricket he's played, whether it's international or domestic T20s and all that. He's been someone who's changed how we look at batting technique, how we think about batting. Somebody obviously is one of modern day greats across all formats, and somebody who's obviously loved by everyone. But I think उनके numbers से ज़्यादा effect आया है in how he played the game, technically especially. He's very unorthodox उनके technique से. And when somebody who's not orthodox and is so successful, आप फिर सोचने लगते हैं कि अच्छा, जो हम basic जिसको जानते हैं या technique जिसको जानते हैं, we need to have a relook at that. So I think that's what he's forced everyone to do, is have a relook at technique again. What are negotiable part of the technique, कौन से non-negotiable part, and obviously the joy and pleasure and entertainment that he's brought to the game obviously will be thoroughly missed. Right. Quickly, who else do we have? Manish Kumar कह रहे हैं, क्या शिवम मावी या कमलेश नागरकोटी और कार्तिक त्यागी बतौर नेट बॉलर साउथ अफ्रीका का जाना चाहिए? आई थिंक जाएंगे भी. जो नेक्स्ट लॉट ऑफ प्लेयर्स हैं, जैसे आवेश हो गए या कमलेश या मावी, कार्तिक तो गए थे, ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए थे, फिर चोटिल हो गए. सो या एब्सोल्युटली, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है कि ऐसे 3-4 लोगों को साथ में लेके जाना चाहिए. और साथ में एक और बहुत ज़रूरी चीज़ है मनीष, कि उनका भी वर्कलोड जो है उसके ऊपर भी नज़र डालना ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि नेट बॉलर का मतलब ये नहीं कि 2 घंटा नेट है तो 2 घंटा बॉलिंग करे. तो जितना इम्पोर्टेंट वर्कलोड जो आपके मेन बॉलर्स का है, उतना ही वर्कलोड आपका जो अगला लॉट है उनके लिए भी उतना ही ज़रूरी है. क्योंकि काफ़ी ऐसे गेंदबाज, काफ़ी तो नहीं कहूँगा, लेकिन कुछ ऐसे गेंदबाज है जो नेट बॉलर के तौर पे गए थे टीम के साथ और फिर इंजर्ड होके आए, फिर उसके बाद ज़्यादा खेलने का मौका नहीं मिला. सो उस लिहाज से भी थोड़ा सा नज़र रखना ज़रूरी है उनके वर्कलोड के ऊपर. राइट. Next question is from Shobho Shachi. Was Shardul Thakur rested for T20s and Test? Yes. This is what I know, Shobho Shachi, that he was rested, as far as I know. Yeah. Chaitali, sir, Rohit is now around 30-34. Do you think it is right decision to make him captain? I think so. Chaitali, I think जब रोहित जैसे कप्तान है, लीडर हैं टीम में, तो आई थिंक इट विल बी अनफेयर, या तो वो खुद बोले कि नहीं, आई डोंट वांट टू डू इट, या मुझे नहीं करना. If he does not have a problem, I think it is unfair, and I think it's also a little weird ना, जब आपके पास इतने अच्छे लीडर हैं, इतने अच्छे कप्तान हैं जो कि ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड हैं, चाहे वो इंडिया के लिए जब भी स्टैंड इन कप्तान के हिसाब से आए हों, या ऑब्वियसली आईपीएल में. ही इज अ गुड लीडर, ही इज अ गुड कैप्टन. तो मेरे ख्याल से इवन दो आई अग्री, आपका जो पॉइंट है, आई टेक इट, 33-34, but he's got good 3-4 years, maybe, if not more, uh, of international cricket left in him. So there is no reason why he can't. और it's important, चैताली, और एक important चीज मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगले 2-3 साल में इंडिया विल गो थ्रू अ ट्रांजिशन पीरियड, चाहे वो टेस्ट क्रिकेट हो या वाइट बॉल क्रिकेट हो. Bowlers like Shami and Ishant, and batters like Chiteshwar, Rohit himself, okay, so it leaders and coaches. Uh, and I'm so glad Rahul is here, Dravid, as a coach, and VVS is there in NCA. That is again a very, very important post. So that transition has to be very, very smooth. तो उसके लिए भी you need to have good coaches in the system and good captains, good leaders. Right. Okay. Next question. Who do we have? Srinivas साहब क्या पूछ रहे हैं? Of late in tests, we have seen wicket keepers who are flamboyant and fearless in batting have been successful apart from Rizwan. Do you wicket keepers need to focus more on? Do wicket keepers need? Okay. Srinivas, the thing is this: how does a wicket keeper come into prominence? Generally he comes into prominence when he's scoring runs. कोई कीपर अगर 4 कैच लेता है या ये करता है, जनरली स्पीकिंग ही इज नॉट नोन, राइट? क्योंकि मीडिया में, एज इन प्रिंट में हो या वेबसाइट्स हो, या you don't get to see keepers aren't mentioned for their keeping skills. So prominence when you're scoring runs, so automatically it becomes that yes, it's not a new. आप देखिए, always batters across countries. I mean, even batters. Look at England, Australia as well. So they've always been good batters. Maybe not like top 3-4 batters in the side or whatever. So yeah, one of the reason being that, I mean, keepers जब कोई गलती करते हैं तभी we talk about keepers. When they go unnoticed. So yeah, that's how things work. Right. Okay. Let's go. Let's try and get as many questions as possible, and also guess. Yeah, brief. Okay. Who do we have next? Right, Harsh Mohanji पूछ रहे हैं, why Indian selectors ignore Sanju Samson always? Uh, Harsh, yeah, I I won't say ignore, um, because couple of things. One is in T20s, obviously. I won't say Test match cricket. I think T20s, yes, he's a very good player. But again, T20, just think about this. You can't have him bat at number 5, 6, right? He he gets all his runs, and all the way he bats has to be in 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 at this point in time. It's a little difficult, don't you think? I mean, obviously someone like Ruturaj and Ishan and Sanju himself, I'm sure is in the fringes, but I think it's a little unfair to say that selectors ignore Sanju. Uh, he played a few games, unfortunately has not really been able to kind of show his potential at this level. Uh, but yeah, I won't say they ignore, but again, he has to play in 1, 2, 3 in the top three. And at this point in time, there is a lot of competition. I mean, but I don't see him fit into 5, 6. Somebody who can come and start hitting those big sixes straight away, or especially against spin. especially against spin. Fast bowlers, yes. Um, but yeah, that's my take, Harshi. स्पोर्ट्स पागल हाँ सर क्या वेंकटेश में हार्दिक जैसा पोटेंशियल है नंबर 6 पे हार्दिक जैसा पोटेंशियल एज अ पैकेज we'll have to wait and see क्योंकि सी अगेन ही इज समबडी हु बट अभी 6 पे खिला रहे हैं क्योंकि एक तो उस पे गेम है स्पिन और फास्ट बॉलिंग दोनों खेल सकते हैं वैसे और साथ में ऑब्वियसली वो बॉल डाल सकते हैं सो इस वक्त अगर आप ऑप्शंस देखें तो आपके पास उतने सारे ऑप्शंस हैं नहीं वेंकटेश एक ऑप्शन है रिपल पटेल उतना खेला नहीं है लेकिन एक वो ऑप्शन है कुछ और अंडर 19 से आ रहे हैं इस वक्त एक दूसरे एंगल से अगर आप देखें तो मे बी समवन लाइक शार्दुल जो बॉल हुआ बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर्स नॉट बैटिंग ऑलराउंडर्स तो वो ऑप्शंस हैं बट इज ही एज गुड एज हार्दिक पोटेंशियल वाइज हार्दिक डेफिनेटली हैज पोटेंशियल बट एंड ऑफ द डे अगर आप देखें तो अगर बॉल नहीं डाल रहे तो फिर then he cannot be compared with an all-rounder ना he'll be only compared with the other batters then फिर दूसरा पूरा comparison ही अलग हो जाता है मतलब debate अलग हो जाता है then you start talking about him with the other only batters so yeah I mean if he's not bowling then it's a different thing but potential wise if he's fit I think obviously you would prefer him over anyone else right now. Okay. Niranjan, but my question is, does a seam bowling all-rounder like Pandya Stokes Holder required in these conditions? Can you play an extra batsman, only one seamer and three spinners balance will be very good. Uh, these conditions, I'm sure Niranjan Bhatsab, you're talking about the matches. Test matches in these conditions, you need all-rounders, but you already have, right? In these conditions, you have all rounders in test matches. You've got Aksar, you've got Jadeja, you've got Ashwin. So that is not a problem. Lekin if you're talking about white ball cricket and away from home, फिर problem ये हो जाता है कि you want to play four seamers, but your fourth seamer need to bat, as in proper bat. नहीं तो your अगर चार seamers are people who can't bat, then your batting finishes at 6. ना 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 में आपका एक फिर स्पिनर ऑलराउंड जो अश्विन जडेजा हुआ वन ऑफ देम कम्स इन एंड मतलब टॉप सात बैटर्स में देन यू हैव वन स्पिन बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर एंड वन कीपर सो आपके फिर आउट एंड आउट बैटर आपके फिर 5 ही बचते हैं सो यू नीड somebody who can bat away condition test matches uh, so that helps the balance in conditions yes you don't and also about wide ball cricket you would want three seaming options क्योंकि generally आपके आपके पास अगर दो ही bowlers हैं argument sake in wide ball cricket which is Bumrah and let's say Bhuvi तो अगर दो ही सीमर हैं तो आपके पास वो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी नहीं है कि आप उनमें से किसी को बीच ओवर में डालें देन इट इज वेरी स्ट्रेट जैकेटेड कि भैया 2 ओवर पहले 2 ओवर लास्ट में so your options they reduce then you're stuck with bowling 12 overs of spin during that middle overs right or middle overs mein because of field restrictions and all that it you would want a seamer so that's the reason that you would want a seam bowling all-rounder in white ball cricket and conditions away from home. Right. Who do we have next? Samarth, sir, do you think will be in Australia captain? I think Pat Cummins. I think Pat Cummins vice captain. I think whatever little I know of him, he comes across as somebody who's intelligent, who's a leader. The only thing is again, uh, I don't know whether it's a long-term option or not because being a bowler, one of the top bowlers in the side, he's not going to play games. Have to that uh, Sorry guys, my bad. Internet यहाँ पे is very average, extremely sorry. Sorry guys, my bad. Internet यहाँ पे is very average, extremely sorry. Yeah. So yeah. So that's somewhat I think was. I hope I've been able to answer the question. Batting options, you have a few. Steve Smith, I don't know they want to go back or not, but I think he's. I still think he's a good captain. Uh, I think they should let bygones be bygones and move on. Yeah. राइट नेक्स्ट राहुल यादव सर क्या हर सीरीज में एक पिंक बॉल टेस्ट होना चाहिए स्पेशली इन एशियन कंट्रीज एशियन कंट्रीज में राहुल सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये हो जाता है कि वो ड्यू फैक्टर और ड्यू फैक्टर और आप टेस्ट मैच इस वक्त जब खेलेंगे तब ड्यू बहुत ज़्यादा होता है वो एक बहुत बड़ा मसला है बट आई अग्री राहुल वी हैव टू फाइंड अ वे एंड आई कंप्लीटली अग्री कि हर एक टेस्ट सीरीज में एक पिंक बॉल टेस्ट होना चाहिए लेकिन that due factor is something that we really need to find a solution to, right? Okay, Austin, do you think Rahul or Iyer can be RCB near replacement? Oh yeah. I think Kale Rahul, obviously, I mean, he will, if he goes to the auction, which I believe he will, and he should, he'll be the highest player, I mean, highest paid player. There's no two ways. He ticks all your boxes. He's a captain, and especially for RCB, he's a Bangalore boy, so that helps in branding and everything else as well. Bangalore boy leading RCB. He's a captain, he's a wicket keeper, and he's one of the top batters, and he'll open. So I mean, God, I mean, he will by far will be the highest paid if he chooses. Again, like I said, he should. If I was him, I would definitely go to the auction. Yeah. Okay. Adi, sir, will India look for some left arm paces in all formats? Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure India would be looking for it. I think Arshdeep is someone that we should invest in. कि T20 cricket में, even one days ODI as in white ball cricket, or Nagaswala is in South Africa भी India A के लिए. He's picked up a wicket. I don't know how he's bowled because I don't think it has been broadcasted. Mhm. But एक विकेट जरूर लिया आज. So yeah, there are a few options there. और अगर कोई उस लेवल के है मतलब जरूरी नहीं है कि लेफ्ट आर्म लेना ही है ऐसा नहीं कि अगर क्वालिटी है विच इज देयर इन वाइट बॉल क्रिकेट फॉर श्योर इन आर्शदीप टेस्ट मैच का आई एम नॉट टू श्योर एज ऑफ नाउ तो डेफिनेटली करना चाहिए या वेल्स दिव्या Manu Tiwari, according to you, for retention for RCB. Manu, I'll make a video before. यार कुछ तो वीडियोस के लिए छोड़ दो अभी सब कुछ बोल दूंगा फिर आप लोग देखोगे ही नहीं वीडियो नहीं बना पाऊंगा मैं है ना so I'll make a video of retention according to me who all the 8 franchises and the 2 new teams they have option of retaining 3 from those group क्या हो सकता है I'll make a video and guys do subscribe and you know share the videos whatever that's what they say right uh, I'm very antisocial that way anyways next question Manu but definitely I will 48 जय शिर के सब क्या कह रहे हैं सर शुड आईसीसी और क्रिकेट बोर्ड शेड्यूल ट्रायंगुलर और क्वाड्रेंगुलर सीरीज more because bilateral series are not. That's a very interesting thought, Jayesh, and I agree कि bilateral से ज़्यादा quadrangular है. लेकिन also think about this. Let's say India, New Zealand, and Australia. आपको लगता है कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया न्यूजीलैंड के लिए लोग आएंगे मैच देखने? So while we say it is interesting because again at least for me because growing up it was triangular quadrangular India in England Australia or wherever so I've grown up watching a lot of triangular quadrangular and all these mini series and all that multi-nation series um, but I don't know whether would that make series any more interesting और अभी ऊपर से क्या अभी तो वो you'll across all formats जो भी bilateral series सबके points हैं चाहे वो ओडीआई क्वालिफिकेशन के लिए, चाहे वो ओडीआई हो, T20 हो या टेस्ट मैचेस हो. Obviously टेस्ट मैचेस फॉर द वर्ल्ड टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप, बट ओडीआई और T20 में यू हैव टू विन गेम्स फॉर पॉइंट्स के लिए. सो रेलिवेंस है, बट आई डू अंडरस्टैंड जयेश आप क्या कह रहे हो. स्पेशली मेरा जो जनरेशन है, जो मेरे जनरेशन के और इनफैक्ट मेरे पहले की बीच जो होंगे, they would know. I mean, there used to be a quadrangular every almost every second, third series would be a triangular or a quadrangular. So I do agree, but I don't know whether that's going to make any difference, Jayesh. Right. Dhairya Brutal. Oh God. Dhairya Brutal. Will India play giant ahead of Aksar tomorrow? Hmm. No, because you already have Ashwin. So I don't think so. And Aksar, the kind of start he's got in his test career, geez, how can you not play him? So that's another reason you can't drop him. You can't obviously drop Ashwin, obviously not Jadeja. So I think that's one of the other reason why you should be playing, or you have to be playing three spinners. Hmm. Okay. Siddharth, yes, is combination of Virat plus Dravid in Test cricket very beneficial for India because both love Test cricket? Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, and I think what Rahul, whatever I know of him, he's very good in terms of managing people, managing expectation. uh, so I have no doubt that you know we'll see a we might get to see a different Virat. So last 2-3 साल में हमने विराट देखा है, लास्ट 2 साल में ना 3 साल 2 साल में थोड़ा सा ऑफ जो दिखे हैं. I think that things will change with Rahul there now because, and obviously, settling down a few things like captaincy, white ball captaincy issue, and all that. So I think this combination should do well, test match cricket or otherwise. Right. What do we have next? Gaurav Malik, sir, which players are capable to captain India in future? Oh, okay. Quite a few actually. I'm just saying capabilities. Abhi tak they haven't. Some of them haven't proven themselves uh, as yet, but right there, top of my list would be someone like Rishabh, KL Rahul. These two would be right there at the top. Rishabh, KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer. I like Shubman Gill also. Somehow have a feeling that he'll be a good leader. Um, and and a very important name that I have, again, same problem as Pat Cummins. Someone like Jasprit Bumrah, I think he's a good leader. He's good captaincy material. But again, workload management, obviously, he won't be playing all series. He might be taking breaks. I don't know how that works out. But I think he's good captaincy material. I think he's a good leader, Jasprit Bumrah. These are the few names that top of my head at this point in time. Okay. Manu Tiwari, your thought about next T20 World Cup in USA and West Indies is good to play with 20 teams, the level of cricket India, Australia, and England have. Um, See, I understand, Manu, what you're talking about. Because, for example, let's take Ye Wala World Cup, Scotland versus Namibia. I mean, but having said that, agar we want to spread T20 cricket across the globe, I think this is the format. T20 is the format. जहाँ पे आप वन डेज में आप बेशक आप टीम्स कम कर दें, बट मुझे लगता है T20 में आई थिंक पापुआ न्यू गिनी, ओमान, Namibia, can you imagine them playing World Cup? What it means for the cricket in those countries? It's huge, right? So while I do understand what you're saying, but I think it is also important. Maybe they need to have a rethink. I made a video on something on these lines, with I remember South Africa's World Cup May they won 4 out of 5 games but still didn't qualify. So I made a video. Have a look at it. I've kind of mentioned this issue as well. Yeah, and just let me know what you think of that video and yeah, my opinion on that. Right. Right. Okay, who do we have next? Rahul Singh, which one do you choose, sir? A WTC final win or series win in both England? Oh, Right, I'll say a WTC final. Um, Even though winning in England and South Africa obviously is huge, massive. But Rahul Singh, you've stumped me there. It's a tough one. But that would also mean, to a certain extent, अगर आप WTC फाइनल जीत रहे हैं मतलब आपने इंग्लैंड को हराया होगा या साउथ अफ्रीका को हराया होगा, मे बी सीरीज में नहीं तो एक दो मैचेस तो जीतो। ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता कि इंग्लैंड में आपने व्हाइट वॉश आप हार के आ गए और साउथ अफ्रीका में व्हाइट वॉश हार के आ गए एंड यू स्टिल क्वालिफाई फॉर द फाइनल। चांसेस आर वेरी वेरी bleak. But yeah, it's a tricky one. But I'd going by a little bit of logic, I'd say WTC final because that would mean that we've done well against England and South Africa. Yeah, but a good question though, Rahul. Okay, Ronak Wadhwa, sir, do you think in IPL we should allow four overseas? I agree. Yeah, I think so. उसके काफी सारे reasons हैं. One reason being, अगर आपको टी स्पोर्ट को स्प्रेड करना है एंड आईपीएल इज ऑब्वियसली वेरी वेरी पॉपुलर, इट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस फ्रॉम अ लॉट ऑफ एंगल्स अकॉर्डिंग टू मी। और ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप उनको खिलाएं, बट आई थिंक इट शुड बी मेड मैंडेटरी कि आप एक एसोसिएट प्लेयर को आप टीम में ज़रूर रखें, एज इन स्क्वाड में ज़रूर रखें। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि 10 क्वालिटी प्लेयर्स तो हैं, 100% हैं जो कि खेल सकते हैं, सम लाइक अ डेविड वीजे और uh, quite a few of them. And, so sorry. So मेरे हिसाब से 10 प्लेयर आपके पास होंगे, बट what would that do is you're opening up commercially markets, one commercially and also cricket wise. जब कोई मतलब यू नो द आइडिया इज टू स्प्रेड द स्पोर्ट, और वो स्पोर्ट किसी भी देश में तभी सर्वाइव करेगा जब उसका उसके पास कमर्शियल बैकिंग होगा, राइट? नॉट, आई मीन अगर कमर्शियल बैकिंग नहीं है तो फिर पीपल विल नॉट, दे वुड गो टू दूसरे स्पोर्ट जहाँ पे कमर्शियल बैकिंग्स हैं। Obviously football is one of the biggest sports out of the world because it is what it is, और क्रिकेट इज एक ऐसा स्पोर्ट है which can be a little expensive. आप फुटबॉल क्या है, आप कहीं पे भी खेल सकते हैं। क्रिकेट के लिए आपको पिच होना ज़रूरी है, पिच को मेंटेन करना ज़रूरी है। उस ग्राउंड में आप कुछ और खेल नहीं सकते क्योंकि क्रिकेट पिच है। सामान इज एक्सपेंसिव, ball, bat, pads, and the whole gear and everything else. So obviously, spreading of sport is important, and also opening that market to commercially कैसे to support the sport. तो वो मेरे ख्याल से आईपीएल जो ये आइडिया है, आई थिंक इट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस। एंड आई ऑल्सो हैव अ फीलिंग कि 10 ऐसे लोग होंगे जिनको आप खिला भी सकते हैं in your playing 11. I won't say you should make that mandatory. 4 overseas is good enough, I guess. But एक associate nation country का अगर कोई आता है, I mean, why not? Why not, Ronak? I definitely am up for that. Okay. Next question. Tech Akshat. Sir, do you think that UCHL will ever include in test? I doubt. Uh, because one, he's not the youngest, he's not getting any younger. ऊपर से मेरे ख्याल से काफी हद तक ना वो एक सेट पैटर्न हो गया 4 ओवर 10 ओवर का यूसी के साथ। अगर आप देखें तो ऐसा नहीं है कि चलिए पिछले 2 साल तो रणजी ट्रॉफी हुई नहीं है, लेकिन उसके पहले भी ऐसा नहीं है कि वो बी प्लेइंग रेगुलरली रेड बॉल क्रिकेट। और जितना भी उन्होंने खेला है रेड बॉल क्रिकेट, उतना वैसा परफॉर्मेंस रहा नहीं है। सो रेड बॉल क्रिकेट मुझे नहीं लगता है, बट आई थिंक वी शुड बी इनकरेजिंग कुछ और दूसरे लेग स्पिनर्स हैं जैसे मार्कंडे हो गए। दे आर गुड लेग स्पिनर्स जो रेड बॉल के साथ भी खेल सकते हैं, और अच्छे बॉलर्स हैं। सो या, सो दैट्स माय टेक अक्षत। नेक्स्ट हु डू वी हैव? Srivat Sen, right? Srivat, how are you? So I know that this is a bit of a off topic, but do you think that the inclusion of two new IPL teams brings down the quality of tournament? Srivats, this is a debate which is ongoing, and we will not get the answer till we actually see 10 teams playing. But if you look at, I don't think it will. Okay, again, I'm a little hesitant because I don't know how it's going to pan out. But अगर आप look at the quality of players who are not playing in the 8 franchises so far, and you think, wouldn't we have enough quality there, both overseas and Indian domestic players. And I'd say yes, I think quality should not be an issue, is what I think, Srivats. But again, it's a 50-50 debate, to be honest. I mean, you can come up and say you think that it will, and I guess we'll only get to know once we see next IPL. But I think India and overseas, we have enough talent to have 10 teams, right? Um, Next, Jay Shirkesh, sir, can we see India Pakistan WTC final? Yes, why not? Definitely. And I think Pakistan is also hosting a Champions Trophy. So, and every year, there is an ICC tournament. So, whether men's or women's, we'll see India Pakistan at least once every year. So, and I think that's a good thing, right? What else? Titanic Gamer. Do you think Rohit Sharma should also be? Yes, Titanic Gamer. I think I've again made a video on this a while ago. Please, made quite a few videos. So I would request and urge all of you to have a look at it. Yeah, and I think yes, I think the split should be red ball, white ball, and not T20 and other formats. Well, I'll just and I'll just stop at that and urge or request Titanic Gamer to have a look at that video. I think I've kind of addressed it a little deeper, this topic. Right, we'll try and take as many as possible questions. Right, and Rahul Pant scored 115-35 games. Do you think that South Africa T20 series do or die for him? Iyer is playing at 6 because of him. Challenges have been hard, and the challenges have been harder for Iyer. Kale can keep. Rahul, I agree that Rishabh, for me, still hasn't found the right tempo to play in T20. And don't go by 50, please. Agar you're batting at 4-5, even though I do agree there have been quite a few times where he's had enough time to get a 50. But again, why I'm saying please don't look at 50s, because again, I did a video about it. My point is, a 40 ball 50, let's say he does get a 42 ball 50. Does it really help? For me, it does not. I think T20 cricket should be all about impact. So I'm not concerned that he's only got 150 in 35 games, but in those 35 games, has he made enough impact? And I'd say he hasn't, as compared to what at least I expect of him. And I think he's still trying to find the right tempo to his T20 batting. But will he be under pressure, or will T20 South Africa T20 a do or die for him? Might not be. I think he's somebody who's extremely talented, has the potential, and he's also shown it. ऐसा नहीं कि उसने दिखाया नहीं, तो उसने दिखाया भी है कि वो कर सकते हैं, but he needs to be a little more consistent, and that's what I think of him as a T20 cricketer. Right? Okay. Krishna Gupta, sir, what do you think about the role of IPL in huge, huge, Krishna. I think IPL again. Okay, I'm not going to say this anymore, but I have made a video on this as well. See, IPL में क्या होता है कि you get a taste of it is, I won't say it is international cricket, but it is very close to international cricket, because वही चीजें हैं जो इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट में, क्वालिटी ऑफ बॉलिंग थोड़ा सा नीचे होगा, क्वालिटी ऑफ क्रिकेट थोड़ा सा नीचे होगा, बट प्रेशर, स्पॉटलाइट, इज द सेम, ऑलमोस्ट सेम एज इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट. तो वहां पे अगर वो एक लिटमस टेस्ट, अगर वो आपको आदत पड़ जाए, एवरीथिंग स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम मनी, फेम, स्पॉटलाइट, इसको कितना मिला है, क्या किया इसने, क्या किया है, इतना पोस्टमार्टम होता हर एक मैच के बाद इन IPL. If you get used to all that criticism, success, money, fame before playing for India, I think it just gets you ready. Mentally, you learn so much. You're sharing the dressing room with top players of the world. You're playing with them or against them. जब आप इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट खेलने जाते हैं, आपको लगता है कि यार इस बॉलर को मैंने पहले खेला है, या इस बैटर को मैंने बॉल डाला है, or I know how to handle criticism or success. So I think it makes a huge difference, Krishna. Right. Okay. So we have umpire's call again. Yes, Reds. Isn't it high time we had a full-fledged? Yes, I think we should. Uh, but obviously can't be on the same lines as IPL. Rules I think needs to be changed. Maybe not start with eight franchises. Maybe start with 4 or 5 franchises, and then see how it goes. Ek minute. Sorry. So I think we should look into that option. I think domestic cricket maybe itne talent I've covered a bit of women's cricket. I think there is enough talent in domestic cricket, you know, to kind of provide for an IPL or WIPL rather. So yeah, but obviously we need to relook at number of teams, maybe number of overseas for the first few years and see how it goes. Right. स्पोर्ट्स पागल अश्विन जडेजा के बाद हमारे पास नेक्स्ट स्पिनर कौन है टेस्ट में और अमित मिश्रा के कोई भी लेग स्पिनर क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है हमें टेस्ट में माय नेम शायन दत्तो बिग फैन थैंक यू शायन शायन आई थिंक लेग स्पिन इसलिए नहीं मिल रहा है क्योंकि लेग स्पिन जो है वो थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा हम फोकस कर रहे हैं वाइट बॉल क्रिकेट में रेड बॉल क्रिकेट में लेग स्पिन अगर आपको दिन में 15 ओवर डालने हैं तो उतना आसान नहीं होता बिकॉज इट टेक्स अ लिटिल मोर रेज शोल्डर वगैरह वगैरह ऑल्सो यू नो maybe I should make a video on why leg spinners are more effective in white ball cricket. Uh, just an idea that came to my mind. Anyways, so that is one thing. Someone like Amit Mishra ji is almost from my generation. So, हमारे generation में the main form was red ball cricket. Yes, तब तो उतना T20 था भी नहीं. White ball cricket obviously was ODI, but वो भी 10 ओवर डालने होते हैं. So I think so he's from that generation. उसके बाद कोई नहीं आया because everyone थोड़ा सा bowling technique change हो गया है. अभी आपका वो साइड आर्म वाले नहीं है क्योंकि पहले होता था लेग स्पिन थोड़ा साइड आर्म अभी सब कान के ऊपर से हो गया लाइक राशिद एंड एवरीवन जस्ट एवरीवन तो उसमें क्या टर्न कम होता है और टेस्ट मैचेस में टर्न कम होगा तो फिर दैट्स अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम ऑल टुगेदर सो वो एक है और स्पिनर कौन कौन है अक्सर है ऑब्वियसली जयंत यादव इज नॉट अ बैड बॉलर मुझे कृष्णा का गौतम अच्छे लगते हैं इवन दो मुझे अच्छे लगते हैं बट एक चीज तय है two areas where in the academy should be looking at again I made a video on that is spinners in red ball cricket and wicket keepers in red ball cricket. Right, last 5 question guys. Dinner at 7 o'clock with everyone. Right, Rahul, Manish Pandey was your good number 6 where Pandey and Dubey had license to fire at 5, keeping in mind that an experienced player is at 6. Do you think he should be given the chance rather than trying others? Rahul, I do agree. I was a little surprised that Manish he did all right. मुझे कभी ऐसा नहीं लगा कि मनीष को जितने भी opportunities मिले हैं at number 5, 6, he's done all right. He's made an impact. So I was like I said, मुझे लगा कि he should have got more chances. लेकिन as of now, it just seems to me that train might have left the station. But you never know. A good IPL can change things. But yeah, वहाँ पे और एक जो नाम आपने लिया है शिवम दुबे. I think that is another guy should be invested. I'm not saying play for India and all that, but invested in terms of India A and जहाँ जहाँ हो सकता है to do that. Right. Next one, Shivam Vaidya. Shouldn't Ruturaj be given a chance in the test matches with New Zealand? Yes, why not? But having said that, when you already have Shubman Gill and Mayank, I think Mayank, again, I've said this before, I was very, very unfortunate. England में खेलने वाला था. Look at his numbers. Really good numbers, yeah. Really good numbers. So Mayank, 100% should get a chance. And then Shubman also, obviously, after Australia series, England के साथ home series was very average. Then he got injured. So I think maybe should go with them first up and see. But because Ritu has a very good first class record also, not just a white ball but red ball record भी अच्छा है. But I think option आपके पास जो option है, I'd go with Mayank and Shubman first up. Right. Last three questions. Aryaman Goenka पूछ रहे हैं, how to measure impact in test cricket? What should be the criteria in test cricket? See, test cricket I can still understand runs, because it does not matter. Strike rate does not matter. But obviously कुछ चीजें हैं कि up you can get into algorithms, Ariman, as in what was okay when he got 100, what were the conditions like? For example, getting 100 in South Africa for an Indian batter to get a in South Africa, England, or Australia should rate higher than getting 100 in, let's say, Sri Lanka or India. Same way for an Australian batter or an English batter. Bowling wise, a seamer getting a 5 wicket haul in India should be a little higher than getting a 5 wicket haul in South Africa. Spinner getting a 5 wicket haul in South Africa should be rated a little higher than 5 wicket haul here in the subcontinent. But you can make those algorithms. But I think keep it very, very simple. And Ariman, if you check, I made video on T20 impact. Um, I think for Test cricket, I think it's plain and simple number of wickets, and you can always look at the strike rate for a bowler or average wickets and average put together. Uh, and for batters, I think again look at averages or runs. Uh, I think that should be enough, right? Uh, Last two, Ronak, sir, what do you think is the reason behind success of Tamil Nadu cricket in last four? They have played three finals and won two. Yes, I think yeah, TNPL. Yes, I think TNPL is huge, because what has happened is okay, because of TNPL, all the franchises are also looking at players in TNPL playing in TNPL. दूसरे स्टेट में क्या है, you're looking at Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, that's fine. Some of them have been picked from TNPL straight into an IPL side. So IPL franchise are also watching them. So क्या हो रहा है कि they are not just playing Syed Mushtaq Ali, a lot of them are playing IPL also. So that IPL experience also comes into that Tamil Nadu dressing room and helping people who might not be playing IPL. So there's a lot of experience playing T20 cricket at the IPL level. And I think the confidence levels are different. I mean, someone like Shahrukh or something winning games for Punjab in IPL, and he comes in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, which I believe is a level below that, and he's like, I've done it there, why can't I do it here? So I think वो confidence level का भी होता है रौनक. I guess that's the difference. Right, can we have the last question now then, please? SS98, Rohit Sharma was the highest run scorer for India in the last two test series. Will India miss his presence? Oh yes, SS. I mean, obviously, yes, Rohit will be missed. KL Rahul will be missed. But I think जैसे मैं पहले भी कह रहा था कि कहीं ना कहीं it's an opportunity for Mayank, for Shubman Gill. Uh, and I think, yeah, obviously there is no two ways Rohit will be missed. यार, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है. But let's look at it from two angles. One, opportunity for someone like Mayank who's done nothing wrong. Shubman, another opportunity. And Rohit gets a break before the South Africa series, जो मेरे हिसाब से is very, very important. He gets to spend some time at home. Family, obviously, wife and daughter were with him, but, parents and other friends and all, just take some time off cricket. And that should help, going forward. Right. Again, thank you very much. And again, my apologies. I see a lot of questions there being asked. So my apologies again. साथ ही साथ में बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Extremely humbled and feeling loved with all of you spending the last 1 घंटा with me. 1 घंटा of your life with me here. I honestly am blessed. I'll also take this opportunity to urge you all to subscribe and the usual shebang. Yeah, so again, thank you very much for spending the last hour with me. I hope I've been able to answer a few questions, and apologies to the others जिनका मैं question नहीं ले पाया. I will try again. I'll try and do live, once a week, once in 10 days. So maybe before the next test match, let's do another live, right? So again, thank you very much. Good night. Take care. अपना ख्याल रखिएगा, and I'll see you soon. Again, thank you very much.